Pawn Stars is famous for having some pretty bad offers, but some of the offers they've made were so low that it was almost ridiculous. So here are 3 of the worst low-ball offers ever made in Pawn Stars.
Generally, jewelry from this time period to this quality is worth a lot of money.
Good.
Starting off with this laughable low-ball offer for a pair of 18th century platinum flip glasses.
A magnifying glass.
No, it's better than that.
Sweet.
That is onyx diamond authentic spectacles. Bam!
In this case, the owner had successfully done business with Rick and Corey in the past, so he was sure he'd be able to get a good deal out of it. He walked into the shop with a smile, hoping he'd walk out of there with a huge bag of cash, but he had no idea just how hard he'd be lowballed. At the start of his discussion with Corey, he proudly showed off his onyx diamond spectacles and immediately asked for $5,000 in return for them.
Any idea what you want for them?
$5,000, how's that?
Corey even said that he was impressed by the glasses, but things quickly got worse when Rick was called to give a second opinion. Immediately, Rick said that the glasses weren't jewelry and so they couldn't be sold for much. Rick also felt that the stones were inexpensive and the platinum wasn't enough to justify the $5,000 price tag. The crazy thing is that the owner actually ended up agreeing with Rick and ended up settling for $850. Just check this out.
Give me $850, I'll leave a happy man.
I'll give you the $850.
You could see that Corey didn't even think about it. While the seller did get some money in his pocket, it's clear that he was lowballed like crazy. But this next one is even worse, and not just because Corey tried to go as low as humanly possible, but because he actually made Rick really angry as well. By the way, leave a like or subscribe if you're enjoying this video so far. But now, getting back to the lowballing offers. Rick walked in on Corey and Chumley chilling in the office and told him to go pick up a Triumph bike that he really wanted.
Go to Carson City. Bring Antoine with you. If it runs good, just buy it for me, okay?
He wanted it so bad that he was willing to pay $8,000 for it as long as it was running well, which seemed pretty generous from Rick. Chumley and Corey met up with the owner of the bike, and despite his hate for Triumphs, Corey admitted to himself that the bike was really sick. They took it out for a test drive, brought it back, and began the bargaining Olympics. The owner wanted $10,000 for the bike, and Corey offered $6,000.
We'd like to get $10,000.
Just take 6.
Corey then said something about not wanting to buy too high since he was going to sell it and make his own profit, which was a blatant lie since Rick clearly said he wanted the bike for himself. Corey and the owner came to a stalemate when the owner settled for $7,500, but Corey refused to move from his $7,200 offer. If Corey was thinking normally at all, he would just pay the $3,000 difference to see his father happy. But the crazy thing is that he actually walked away without getting his father the bike he so desperately wanted. It's even more insane when you consider the fact that Rick allowed Corey to spend $8,000 on the bike, so in reality, Corey was already $500 in profit and could have still gotten the bike. And let's just say the boys were really scared for their lives after telling Rick what happened.
I argued to bring the bike home, Rick, I really did. Your son decided not to buy the bike over $300.
You know what? This is all my fault. I should have never sent you guys.
And if you thought that the lowballing would stop when heartbreak gets involved, then think again. One day, a man came into the store hoping to sell an extremely treasured item. He carried it in a box on his shoulder and claimed it was an authentic World of Warcraft Frostborn sword. The owner said that he was a huge fan of the game and had decided to move on from that phase of his life by selling the sword. The sword was definitely a big deal because it even had Chumley excited and acting like a kid.
Frostborn hungers.
I have no idea what you just said. Please put it down, chum.
By the owner's own words, World of Warcraft is the greatest game of all time, and it's known for setting a new standard in the gaming world. The owner said he wanted $5,000, and instead of having some decency and showing support for the owner, Rick asked for a second opinion and immediately reduced its worth down to $1,350.
I think you probably are going to be able to get somewhere around $1,350.
Eventually, the two ended up settling for just $750, which is barely even 15% of what the owner actually wanted. The insane thing about this whole story is that the sword is literally authentic, not even a knockoff, and the expert himself said that it would be very desirable back in the day. If the owner had tried to sell it to someone who actually loved World of Warcraft, maybe he would have gotten a much better price.
You're going to have to find someone who actually wants an authentic one.
But as we can see, he had to sell his sword for basically pocket change. And now I'm curious, would you have sold any of those items after the prices were cut down by more than 50%? Or would you try seeing a second opinion? Let us know in the comments down below and click on this video to see Rick's worst deal mistake ever.